everybody, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do my weekly and my Spookathon wrap-ups. So I started the week trying to finish off a couple books, and then I did my Spookathon TBR, or not TBR, Spookathon reading. Oh, it's been a long weekend. And so I didn't quite get all the challenges done, but I did. So don't mind the red marks, they're for my sleep mask. Yeah, sleep apnea sucks. Anyway, so I was reading Illuminate, obviously by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and space opera, two kids that had broken up, major war with the planet that goes haywire, and I really liked it. I gave it a 4. I can't try to remember what I didn't like about it, but there wasn't much. But it wasn't one of those that made me want to give it a 5. It was a 4 book, and it was a solid 4 book. So yeah, I read that one. So that could be considered red on the cover for Spookathon, but don't mind the loud bangs. Then I wanted to finish up C is for Corpse by Sue Grafton. It's the 3rd book in the Kinsey Millhone series, and this could be considered read a thriller. So she, what is this one? Kinsey, meets up with a boy that hires her to try and find out who is trying to kill him, because he had been run off the road several months earlier and his best friend had been killed, and he wants to know what's going on. So I think I gave that one a 4 as well. Really good series. Then I continued reading our read-along book on the booktube shelf. Oops, wrong book. On the booktube shelf's book of the week that we are now going to lengthen, but it was Fiendish by Brenna Yavinoff. I'm the only one out of the 4 of us that liked it. A lot of the people couldn't understand some of the things, and it just, to me, it was a good creepy read. So this could have been considered for a creature. Oops. Or a spooky word in the title. Could have been. So this was about a girl that had been locked up in the cellar for 10 years in these willow roots, and a boy comes and finds her, and a lot of creepy stuff starts happening. I gave it a 4 because I did like it, but it could have been explained more and made into a duology. And a couple of things were, like, the reason a lot of the people didn't like it and got confused was because a lot of the things were not drawn out. I don't want to say drawn out, but explained fully. So you're kind of left. The author assumes that you know what's happening. So that could have been, put into more. So I then started on my Spookathon TBR, and I did my, this thing just went. There we go. I chose a short story book, and it's Ghostly Haunts, and it's edited by Michael Morpurgo. And I have to say, this one, yuck. This national treasure in the UK, National Trust, asked these authors to write a book about a spooky place. And these stories were not spooky at all. Like, I liked 2 or 3 of them, but they just were not spooky at all. The ones I did like were The Silver Ghost. Mirror Mirror wasn't too bad, but the rest were just meh. So I think I ended up giving it a 2 or 3. But that one I used for the ghostly word, I think. Spooky word in the title. This one, Whisper of Death by Christopher Pike. I wouldn't say it's not nostalgia's sake, because Christopher Pike didn't start writing these books until I was in my 20s. And I did read some of them in my 20s. This one is from 1991, so not quite my 20s. But I didn't even know about him really until my 20s, so there you go. But this is about a girl who meets up with a boy, gets pregnant, and she goes for an abortion. And then she decides not to have it, and they go home, and they discover that everybody in the town except for 4 other people are gone. Missing, gone, don't know where they are. And so it's them going through and find out. It's creepy, scary. Not spooky scary, but scary. So I think I gave this a 4 too. It's been a really good week for reading. Then I'll leave this one till the end, sort of. If I can get things going here. There we go. Then I picked up Zombie Underground by Darren Shan. And this is for the book with a creature. I think I use this one because it's zombies. But I can't talk too much because it'll give away the ending of the first book. But it's the zombie apocalypse. I like these books. They're cute. I think I gave it a 3 or a 4 too. Yeah, so far it's really good. So then on the weekend, well, I started one book, but I'll talk about that in a minute. But on the weekend, I ended up having to do some adulting. And that kind of kicked into my reading time, because when I have to do this type of adulting, I am in no mood to read or be nice. So I ended up picking up Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, Volume 1 manga, and it was reminiscent of playing the game. I loved it. I gave it a 4 again. Just because some of the illustrations were really hard to decipher. They were just so small, and so much was put into them that it was kind of hard to distinguish what was going on. So, yeah. But I mean, some of them, it's manga. And this, I have to say, is my first manga, I believe. So it took me 1 or 2 pages to realize or not realize. I knew to read back to front and left to right, but yeah, so it was good. It was a 4. Oops. There we go. So also my son wanted me to read him this book, so this does not count at all for Spookathon. But Walter the Farting Dog, Banned from the Beach. He loved it, of course. He gave it a 5. But it's about a dog who farts in their family, and they go to the beach for a vacation, and he's banned. He's kicked off the beach because he's blowing stuff in their faces, and yeah. So it's just one of those things where the best picture was this one, where the dog is farting the key lime pie into the guy's face. Yeah, so... And then he wanted me to read it again to him. So, the other book that I read to him was I Want to Go Home by Gordon Corman, and I gave this a 5. Canadian slapstick humor, gotta love it. It's about a kid that goes to a camp, and he doesn't want to be there. And he meets up with another boy that decides he doesn't want to be there either. And they keep trying to escape, and it keeps getting bungled. And it's hilarious. Yeah, really good. I'm going to continue reading his books to my son because my son loved it too. Yeah, really good. So the book I am currently reading is still The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I was going to use this one. Why do I keep looking there? For 2016 release, but I can also use it for Red on the Cover. Needless to say, I did not get the challenges done with my TBR, but I got them done with the other books. So, and when you hear my page count, I think I did pretty good. So this is about a boy and a girl, obviously, and there's no romance in it. But the girl is, okay, the city is divided into north and south. The girl's father runs the north part. The boy's father runs the south part. And the city is made up of 4 states. It's that big. Because there is this major, oh, what was it called? Phenomenon. And it's called V City. And there are monsters running around. And there's 3 monsters. There's the Korsai, there's the Malkai, and there's the Sunai. And there's a little song that everybody sings, and it's really interesting. It kind of tells you exactly what the monsters do. Like the Korsai is tooth and claw, shadow and bone will eat you raw. Malkai, sharp and sly, smile and bite and drink you dry. Sunai, eyes like coal, sing you a song and steal your soul. So the Korsai cannot come out in daylight. They're only at nighttime. Any light will kind of kill them. The Malkai are kind of like vampires. They'll suck you. And the Sunai sing to you and they steal your soul. And they only go after sinners. So people who have done bad. I'm really loving it. I love her writing. It's very fluent. Very easy to get through. Very engaging. And it just sucks you in. But this is the one book I was reading that I had to adult with during. So I'm going to continue reading this book. I only have, well, I'm over halfway through. And I would have, on my schedule that I had, I would have finished all my TBR books. But yeah, adulting happened. So now I'm currently reading a book to my son. I don't know how well we're going to get on with it. But it is called, oh, come on, The Wizard of Halloween, and it's by Nolan Carlson. If you can see that. It's about a wizard that has a lot of cats around. And that we've just pretty much read the prelude introduction to it. And so, but it seems a little more advanced than he's able to comprehend. So we'll see. The book I did not get to was Stephen King's Joyland, and I will be reading this week. I only read like the first little thing here. That's it. So I didn't even include it in my reading. So for my reading amounts, for the Spookathon reading from my TBR, I read 797 pages. Total for the week, including all the books, I didn't even think. Did I add that one? Yeah, I did. I didn't add this one though. So, it was actually 1,603 pages that I read during Spookathon week. So, I may have failed my TBR, but reading over 1,600 pages this week, I didn't fail at all. So that is my reading wrap up. Like I said, I'm going to be reading that book with Cameron and Joyland, and after that, I'm going to try and get my books for my Around the World in 52 books. I still have 14 left to read, which, you know, I'm already at 172 books read this year, so I don't foresee a problem. So let me know down below if you did Spookathon, how you did, if you had fun doing it. I did. I didn't check in as much as I wanted to. I didn't get to vlog, but, you know, life. So, yeah, let me know what you're going to be reading this week. If you're going to take a break from reading after the Spookathon. Like I said, it's been one of those weeks. So, hope everybody has an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.